Now, not all nomination contests have been going smoothly, particularly for the Liberals. In fact, in several ridings from coast to coast to coast, there's been some grumbling that despite Trudeau's vow that all nomination races would be open to all, Trudeau, the leader of course, is making sure his personal favorites win outright or get an inside track. That's the accusation. In Ottawa Vanier, or rather in Ottawa Orleans, for example, David Birchie, who fought Trudeau for the leadership, has appealed the decision by Liberal HQ that he cannot run for the nomination. Birchie would have been fighting a Trudeau favorite, Andrew Leslie. Leslie will now win the nomination unopposed. Most recently, eyebrows were raised in the riding of Vancouver South, currently held by Y. Young, but which is expected to swing Liberal next year. There were two strong candidates that had emerged to take the Liberal nomination, but one withdrew. Last night, amid suggestions that Trudeau's preferred candidate be unopposed, the Liberal leader was asked about this issue today.
We have a strong and a real process around who can qualify to be a green-lit candidate. And in various situations across the country, there have been issues with different candidates, and some people have chosen to withdraw. Now, it is a process that I am confident in, and I have full confidence in my campaign co-chairs in the decisions they've taken. We have a system that has worked extraordinarily well to drawing in hundreds of thousands of members for the Liberal Party, volunteers, great candidates across the country. Unfortunately, in certain situations, as is regular in politics and to be expected, there are winners and there are people who don't win. And from time to time, the people who didn't succeed through the process will have complaints. And that's just part and parcel of it. But the open nominations, letting the communities have the final word on who will be their next Liberal candidate has been a tremendous success, and I'm very proud of it.
All right, that's what the leader says. For more on this whole nomination debate, we're joined by our friend Bill Thielemann. He's, of course, 24 Hours Vancouver columnist. And Bill, this has come to the fore again with this Vancouver South thing. And this is a riding that, again, it's conservative now, but I think we probably both agree the Conservatives are hard-pressed to hold this, and if it flips, the Liberals have a good chance. This was the case of Harge versus Barge, I understand, as everybody sort of called it. Harge Sajjan, he's the Trudeau favorite. He's a decorated former Army officer. He's in, and the guy out, Barge, was a longtime Liberal, raised a lot of money, signed up a lot of members. Does it smell right to you what's been going on there?
Well, I'm still laughing from Justin Trudeau's bald-faced statements there, David. I mean, if you look at this riding alone, you'd have to say that's rather ridiculous. Look, I'm impressed with Mr. Trudeau's ruthlessness and mercenary approach on these things, because there was a guy, Mr. Dehan, very well-known philanthropist, business person. He signed up 3,500, 4,000 members, and they just took him into the boards, and he never got up. Colonel Sajjan won a battle without firing a shot, in effect. So this, but you know, to say that things are going smoothly and everything is open and above board is really quite amusing.
And I guess that's the thing, is I mean, you and I may play our politics a little differently. Personally, I got no problem with the leader of a party reserving judgment, saying there are some kind of candidates that we're keen to look for. And maybe in this case, it's a decorated military officer. And Andrew Leslie's case here in Ottawa Orleans, the guy's a former brigadier general and might bring some extra sauce to the Liberal table. Fine, say those guys are special, they're going to be candidates. But don't go and give the I can't believe 4,000 people signed up for the guy who withdrew. That's a whole lot of members that you just annoyed.
Well, exactly. And when it comes time for you need your troops, and they lost, the Liberals lost that riding to Way Young from the Conservatives by 4,000 votes. So you think that number alone should give them pause. The thing that I can't figure out, David, and I'm with you on that, the Liberals used to have a system where they would appoint star candidates, and I think it was the envy of the NDP and some others who would rather do it that way, at least in 20, 30 ridings across the country. They got rid of it, and so Trudeau's made this claim of openness and a democratic process, which continually is proven to be incorrect. And so, yes, Mr. Dehan pulled out of the race, but you know, he's got party members, or party executive members quitting, saying the fix was in and it was unfair, and they're disgusted after 30 years of the Liberal Party the way it was done. That's not what you need in close ridings. And Mr. Dehan was an excellent candidate too. I think he would have had a very good chance of winning. I don't know why they didn't convince the Lieutenant Colonel to go into a different riding and have two good candidates instead of one.
I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. I should have done more homework, but correct me if I'm wrong. In Vancouver, or the GVA, the Greater Vancouver area, Right now, the only Liberal MPs, Vancouver Quadra, Joyce Murray, and downtown Vancouver, Hetty Fry. And other than
That's
that,
right.
it's all Conservative and New Democrat. Do you think that landscape is, do you feel change in the wind for 2015, that the Liberals, there is an opportunity for them to do better in Vancouver?
I think they definitely can do better in Vancouver and BC, and you have to remember that's after first Stéphane Dion and then Michael Ignatiev's leadership. So even if Mr. Trudeau wasn't the greatest thing since sliced bread, you'd have to think they would do better this time, and we know he's doing well in the polls. So every riding that they formerly held, like Vancouver South, it was Ujjal Dosanjh who won by just 20 votes the last time out before he lost to Wei Young. Before that, though, he had a margin of 4,000 or 5,000. So they think that's winnable. I'm sure they're thinking about Vancouver Kingsway, where Don Davies, the NDP MP, it had previously been Liberal, goes back and forth there. So they've got those sort of things going on. But to alienate a big chunk of members and in a key community like the South Asian community, you have to wonder how smart that strategy is.
Yeah, it could have been managed, as you say, I think, quite differently. Bill Tielemans in Vancouver for us tonight. Bill, I love your wisdom. Thanks.